Palantir, 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 Palantir. I've not lost my mind. I'm just a little bit overexcited for the earnings today, as I'm sure a lot of you are. Look, Palantir earnings are here. It's an exciting time. We're up 208% of the past year. We're up 36% year to date. It's fun to silence a lot of the morons who doubted the stock, who doubted us as a community. And it's fun to see the new trajectory of where we headed with this. Now, to me, it's very, very simple. What we need to do in this video is a few things. Number one, we're going to have fun with it. Number two, we're going to break down what the earnings should look like if Palantir are consistently improving. And number three, what metrics I'm specifically looking for as a long-term investor in this company. At the end of the video, we're going to do a little game. I'll make a prediction where the stock is going to be right after earnings for the next couple of days. And I'm not going to be trading, none of that. You know, I don't trade this stock. But we'll do this so we can pull it up in a few days and roast me potentially if I was wrong, or celebrate my greatness if I was right. So, you know, over the past 4 years, I have slowly become the face of the stock on YouTube and social media somewhat. People call me the Palantir guy. And by people, I mean me and my mom. I'm just kidding. But I am, you know, a serious investor in this company. Most of my portfolio is in it. I've been talking about it since the DPO. And I consider myself a long-term bull of Palantir. Last quarter, I was really impressed with the results. This quarter, what I'm looking for is mainly the ability of the company to stay consistent. And when I see a basketball player give a really good game, what the next question becomes for me is, can this guy do this every single day? Can he come in every game and play like that? And that's the question with Palantir. We had a few good quarters. Last quarter was phenomenal. So the question is, can Palantir remain consistent? That's question number one. Because if they will, you know, show us that they can remain consistent at this level of greatness, that's a huge milestone for this company. Now, last quarter, they guided for 612 to 616 million of revenue in this quarter. Now, already the estimates on the market are for 617, not 16, 617. So the estimates we have in the market right now for 617 million are already above the original guidance of the company. So what they have to beat today is not their guidance, is the elevated estimates. So when Palantir beats today, which I'm sure they will, they're going to beat the estimates that are above their guidance. So that's that's part of the problems of being a great company. People expect a lot from you. They put a lot on your shoulders, and that's part of the process. They gotta be able to deliver despite the high barrier. Now in Q4, the company gave us really impressive numbers. US commercial growth was phenomenal. We all know this. What I'm paying attention this time is I want to see if the customer count keeps growing at these levels. Last quarter, we had 35% increase in customer count. That is insane. If they can maintain that level of growth on the customer count, I know that it will later be translated to more revenues. There's always a lag between customer increase and revenue increase, which allows me more time to buy the stock cheap before everybody wakes up to the fact that their revenues are growing way faster than they gave it credit. And one more thing I'm going to be paying attention to is the top 20 clients. Now, Palantir is very unique in this sense. Their top 20 clients generate about half the business. So I want to see a massive growth in the spend per client on those top 20 clients. Last quarter, they gave us 55 million, which was an increase from 49 million just a year before that. If we can get 60 here, I'm going to be happy. Now, one point where I'm going to see improvement, I hope this quarter, is the net dollar retention. They were at 108% in the previous quarter. That is good, but not great. I would like to see 110 and above on the net dollar retention. Now, remaining deal value was 3.9 billion. The remaining performance obligations was 1.2 billion. So that's 5.1 billion in actual deals that they had to perform, and money that basically was just a question of time. If they can grow that number to 5.3, 5.4 maybe, that's going to be very impressive to me. Now, another thing I'm paying attention to, and it's not the X's and O's of the EPS and the revenue, it's actually the bootcamps. Now, last year in 2023, Palantir ran 500 bootcamps. I want to see at least 800 bootcamps in 2024, although I'm sure the number will be much, much higher. So for me, if I'm expecting 800, 200 in this quarter will be good enough. Anything above 200 bootcamps will be really, really good for me. Now, what I want to explain to you guys is that there's a lag in the amount of customers that the company acquires and the revenues that they post, especially with a company like Palantir that uses kind of a freemium model where people just come into the platform, it becomes sticky, and they convert to paying customers, and they convert to super paying customers. That cycle takes a year. So what I'm paying attention to, and I suggest you do as well, is the percentage of customer growth, is the percentage of growth in the boot camps. This is where the money is. You can't see it in revenue yet. Now, the Oracle deal is going to be massive. It's not yet priced in by the market for some reason. It's not going to appear on the revenues. Obviously, it's too soon. It just happened. But that's another thing that completely gets missed by very smart people that completely discount the Oracle deal. Now, on top of it, we're seeing the world basically going up in flames, the Middle East. There's a lot of craziness in this world. And to me, I'm looking at this company and I'm saying, guys, even if the world goes to crap, this is a company that has 50% of its business benefiting from the world going to crap. So if things hit the fan, if you know what I mean, Palantir is not going to be destroyed like some other companies who are completely dependent on consumer, on retail. That's a massive insurance policy for a company like Palantir. They got at least $1 billion from the government, no matter how bad things get. No other company in the market can say that and also have $1 billion coming from commercial. We have, the DoD contractors, they do great, but they have a ceiling. This company has all the insane upside of the AIP and the business that they got going on the commercial side with an absolute insurance policy on the government side, which completely is insane to me to think that a company like this exists. On top of it, they're completely agnostic to interest rates. Everybody talks about when Jerome Powell will drop rates. These guys have no debt, which is a feat that only a few companies can be proud of. There's not a lot of companies out there that don't have leverage. Even Tesla has a little bit of it, but Palantir literally has zero. And the most important part to explain here is like, look, guys, what Palantir is building here is essentially this software that's going to operate all these LLMs, all these AIs. You got NVIDIA building the infrastructure, and that's great. But you have another company, which is called Palantir, who essentially building the operating system. Now, that operating system is where the money is, not in the LLMs. If you haven't noticed, the LLMs have been completely commoditized. There's 1,000 of them literally out there. Anybody can build one. LLMs are not that special anymore. I think where the strength is in the hardware, NVIDIA, and the operating system like AIP. This is where the money is. Same example, same analysis like with the gold rush. The people who made the most amount of money were the people who were selling the shovels, not the people digging for gold. So at the end of the day, we're looking at a company that's still in its diapers as far as how much potential it has to benefit the AI boom cycle. It also has an insurance policy if things go bad economically, and it's selling at a massive discount. Yes, I just said it. I think this company is selling at a massive discount. It doesn't mean it's not going to be volatile. Now, speaking about short-term volatility, in fact, I think that these earnings might be a little bit different than what most people expect. Now, look, there's a lot of haters out there who are praying for Palantir to fall after earnings. What you guys don't understand, your haters, is that for us, it's a good thing. When that happens, we get to pick up shares for the cheap, which we have done many, many times before. So I pray with you that the stock price will fall so we can improve our cost basis. However, I don't think it's going to happen. What I think will happen is Palantir will report good results. They will show more improvement, more consistency. It's going to push a lot of people back into the stock who are on the sidelines. And it's going to trigger a lot of FOMO. And it's basically created an avalanche of people basically piling into the stock. Now, obviously, at some point, it will correct, which every FOMO-fueled kind of a spike always does. And that's fine. You know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be DCAing into the stock nonstop, buying it up, accumulating, and waiting for the next earnings. Now, of course, I will be going live just before earnings. Would love for you to join me. The link to watch the live stream will be in the bottom of this video, in the description, and in the pinned comment, and all over my social media, Discord, you name it. Come hang out with me. I'm probably going to be streaming about half an hour before the earnings come out. So come hang out. Let's talk. Let's ask some questions. Let's pass the time together. And let's see where this thing takes us. I'll see you in the earnings.